Have you ever wondered how organizations respectfully balance the diverse personal beliefs of their team members with professional requirements? It is a fascinating area that ensures fundamental rights are upheld within the workplace. Workplace religious accommodations are essentially modifications or adjustments an employer makes to an employee's work environment or schedule. These adjustments are specifically designed to enable an individual to practice their sincerely held religious beliefs, provided it does not impose an undue hardship on the employer's business operations. The requirement for employers to provide these accommodations stems from federal law, specifically Title VII of the Civil Rights Act of 1964. This act prohibits discrimination based on religion and requires employers to reasonably accommodate an employee's religious observance or practice. The critical factor for employers is whether the accommodation would cause an undue hardship, which is generally understood as more than a minimal cost or burden. Undue hardship can manifest in various ways, such as significantly increased costs, decreased efficiency, infringements on other employees' rights, or a reduction in workplace safety. For example, accommodating a schedule change for a weekly Sabbath observance might be considered reasonable. However, if that change requires a substantial reassignment of duties that disrupts essential business operations or creates significant overtime costs, it could potentially cross into undue hardship. Common types of accommodations include flexible scheduling to allow for prayer times or observance of religious holidays, adjustments to dress codes to permit religious attire like a headscarf or yarmulke, or modifying job duties to avoid conflicts with religious practices. It can also involve allowing voluntary swaps of shifts or providing a private space for prayer during the workday. The process usually begins when an employee informs their employer about a conflict between their religious belief or practice and a work requirement. Both parties then typically engage in an interactive process. This involves a discussion to identify the precise nature of the conflict and explore potential reasonable accommodations that would resolve it without creating undue hardship. It is important to remember that a religious belief does not need to be part of an organized or traditional religion to be considered for accommodation. It merely needs to be sincerely held by the individual. The legal standard of undue hardship, in this context, is often referred to as a de minimis cost, meaning any burden that is more than negligible. This is a lower standard than for disability accommodations. Understanding these types of adjustments fosters an inclusive and respectful professional environment. It ensures that individuals can maintain their religious practices while fulfilling their professional roles, ultimately enriching the workplace through diversity and mutual understanding.